You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out. Get out.
I live here, sir.
Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home.
You can't walk me home.
Well, you bet. You want to bet what I can do?
I live here, sir.
Okay,
Right
what's
now,
your
you're
address?
harassing the neighborhood.
I'm not harassing anyone walking through the neighborhood I live in, sir.
Where? But check it out. We are a tight-knit community.
Okay.
We
How
take
long
care
have
of
you
each
been
other.
here? How long have
A
you
hell of a
been
lot
living
longer
here?
than your ass, because
How
I
long
have
have you
never
been
seen
living
you
here?
before in my
How long
life.
have you been living here?
That's
Why
none
does
of
that
your
even
business.
matter to you?
How long have you been
It
living
doesn't
here?
matter. You know what? Get the hell out of my face.
You've been
Get out of my
arrested.
face.
You walked up.
In the video, you see a white Army non-commissioned officer depicted in a viral video shoving a black man in a South Carolina neighborhood, and he has been charged with third-degree assault. His name is Jonathan Pentland. He's 42 and he was charged on Wednesday and listed as detained in the Richland County Jail and issued a personal recognition bond. According to online jail sources, he did not have an attorney. The video that was posted on Monday by a woman on Facebook and shared thousands of times shows a man identified as Pentland demanding that a black man leave the neighborhood before threatening him with physical violence. He tells the black man that you are in the wrong neighborhood and that if he does not leave the neighborhood, he was going to show him what he can do. According to Cheryl Johnson, who posted the video, the incidents happened in the subdivision of the Summit, which has a Columbia address but is technically outside the city's limits. The video does not show what started the conflict. Johnson did not immediately respond to a message from the Associated Press seeking further details. The recording begins with Pentland, a U.S. Army Surgeon First Class, asking the black man what he is doing in the area. The black man says he's simply walking and not bothering anyone. The black man also mentions that he does stay in that neighborhood and is simply taking a walk. Pentland is seen repeatedly asking him what his actual address is and also telling him to leave the neighborhood because he does not belong there. Authorities that arrived at the scene stated that they could only give Johnson a citation. They could only give Pentland a citation for malicious injury to property for slapping the man's phone out of his hand and cracking it. However, officials at Fort Jackson, the U.S. Army largest basic training facility, where Pentland is a training officer, a drill sergeant, has also commented that they are looking into this situation and investigating it further. Additionally, I'm going to go ahead and let you listen to a video that was also produced with the police responding to this instance.
That at 8:30 this morning, Jonathan Pentland was arrested for assault and battery third degree in reference to the video that we've all seen. It's a very disturbing video. It's one that we're not going to tolerate or condone in Richland County. And the message I want to give is that when something like that happens, the Sheriff's Department is going to act very swiftly, and we're going to hold those responsible for those accountable. We're not going to let people be bullies in our community, and if you are, then you're going to answer for it. And that's what we've done in this case. This case first came to our attention on Monday when our deputies responded and took initial reports. They did a good job at that point because they didn't rush to make judgments. They took the information and it was passed to our investigators. Our investigators got it yesterday, but one of the most valuable pieces of evidence we had was the video. I want to thank whoever was responsible for that video. Thank you for doing that. That shows what our community can do when we work together. Taking videos, reporting stuff to us. Our initial call came from a citizen that lived in that community who saw the confrontation and called the Sheriff's Department and reported it to us. That's what we ask our citizens to do. When there's something going on in the community, call, let us respond so we can get involved and we can take care of it. And that's what happened in this case. That's what we all need to do. We have to work together to make sure that we prevent incidents that occurred on Monday from ever happening again. We can do that by working together. I am not going to identify the young man that was the victim in this case. There's reasons for doing that just don't need to be talked about. He was a victim, and we're addressing him as a victim. And the individual that was arrested, again, he was arrested at 8:30 this morning. He was booked into the Richland County Detention Center. We do not have a jail photograph yet because they haven't taken one. we'll distribute the photographs that we have. And once the jail photograph is available, we'll release that. I don't know if he's had a bond hearing or not, but he'll appear in front of a bond hearing at the normal time. No special considerations was given whatsoever. Our investigators worked tirelessly on this case. Sergeant McDaniel, who was the lead investigator on this case, got it yesterday when the video was brought to my attention. He didn't even go home last night. He slept in his office to make sure that this case got the priority that it needed done. Him and investigator Raines worked on this case. They interviewed witnesses, they interviewed suspects, they interviewed the victim, they interviewed the victim's father. They worked on this case to bring it to a conclusion very quickly. This was not something that we needed to be drug out because rumors and untruths were being put out on social media. We needed to get the truth out, and that's what we did. Prior to this press conference, I met with community leaders from elected officials of different organizations so they could hear from me the facts of the case, know what we've done, why we did it, and how we proceeded. That's what I owe this community, is get it to the community leaders first and then have the press conference. That has always been our policy, and that's what we're going to continue to do. By working together like we did at 4 o'clock, we came together as a group, we discussed this, questions were asked, and we talked about a path forward. And that path forward is us working together, knowing that we do have incidents like this in our community that we need to work together to prevent, and when it does happen, it's not going to be tolerated. It's not going to be tolerated by your law enforcement, and it's not going to be tolerated by elected officials or community. When we work together as a team, we can prevent incidents like that from happening. When they do happen, we can move swiftly, and that's what we've done on this case. It was terrible. The first time I saw the video, it was terrible. It was unnecessary. It was a bad video. The young man was a victim. The individual that we was arrested was the aggressor, and he's been dealt with accordingly. I've been in contact with Commanding General at Fort Jackson, General Beagles, since the suspect is an active duty soldier. We've discussed it. The military has taken whatever steps that they deem necessary, but we've all came together and we've worked on this case to bring it to the conclusion that we've got. I hope by the community knowing what's happened, that the suspect was arrested, that we're moving forward. I hope the community can step back a little bit now and say, okay, what can we do working together? That's my hope, that's my prayer, and that's the goal, I think, of everybody in this community who cares about this community. If you care about this community, you want us to work together and you want us to move forward.
On Wednesday, protesters gathered in the neighborhood, and for hours the protest was peaceful, but at nightfall, Pentland's home was vandalized and deputies cleared the area. Lavona Goodwin, who lives across the street from Pentland's home, had a front row seat. Goodwin said she was thankful for the protesters because she feels they brought about change. She feels had they not been a protest, Pentland would not have been charged. Well, leave your comments below and tell me what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you will be the first to be notified whenever I post a video.